If you're a man over 60 and you've been advised to eat more vegetables for better health, I need you to pause for a moment because a vegetable you have right now might be the very thing causing your energy to drop, your prostate to enlarge, and your erections to weaken. It's not necessarily age that's diminishing your masculinity. It could be that you're eating what you've been told is healthy. I'm Dr. Anya Sharma, and for over 30 years, I've helped men in their 60s, 70s, and 80s naturally reclaim their vitality and sexual function. I'm a urologist and a specialist in men's health, and I've consistently found that the most effective solutions often lie in what you eat, not in a pill. What if I told you that some vegetables, yes, vegetables, contain hidden compounds that can elevate estrogen, stiffen your arteries, and inflame your prostate? What's worse, many experts, with the best intentions, often promote these as being good for your heart. The irony is that these very foods meant to help you could actually be doing more harm than good. In this video, I'm going to reveal 3 often overlooked vegetables that, according to research, can help you regain your manhood, support your prostate health, boost your confidence, and restore healthy blood flow in just a few days. And if circulation, testosterone, and libido are important to you, I'll also share 3 vegetables you should consider eliminating from your diet right away. And stick around, because I'll also give you a bonus tip on how to prepare these vegetables for maximum nutrient absorption, so you can stay strong and vibrant, even in your 80s. Once you learn the truth, you'll never look at your vegetables the same way again. Before we dive into these surprising facts about vegetables that could be quietly affecting your health, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video about staying strong, sharp, and confident after 60. If you find this information helpful, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0, so I can continue to improve these videos for you. Okay, let's start with something that might surprise many of you. Let's uncover the first vegetable that, despite its healthy reputation, might be a major culprit in your declining energy. I want to share the story of a patient of mine named James. He was a 68-year-old retired school principal, still deeply in love with his wife and mentally sharp as a tack. But something vital was missing. He came to my office feeling confused and quietly embarrassed. "Doctor," he said, "my overall health is good, but I just don't feel like myself anymore. My energy is low, I'm constantly tired, and the spark in the bedroom is simply gone." We ran some tests. While his cholesterol was a little high, and his heart was generally healthy, one thing stood out. His testosterone levels were on the low side, and his estrogen levels were unusually high for a man his age. So, I asked about his diet. James proudly told me that, on his cardiologist's advice, he had switched from red meat and dairy to heart-healthy options like tofu, soy milk, and edamame as a snack years ago. That's when the pieces started to fall into place. Soy is the first vegetable you should consider reducing or eliminating entirely. Despite its positive image, soy is packed with phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that mimic the effects of the female hormone estrogen in the male body. This is especially important for men over 60. At this stage of life, your natural testosterone levels are already gradually declining. Adding substances to your diet that act like estrogen can throw your hormonal balance even further out of whack. What does this look like in real life? Reduced libido, a softer, less energetic physique, and for many men, like James, erections that become weaker, unpredictable, or disappear altogether. And soy isn't just an obvious problem. It's how often it sneaks into your diet undetected in processed snacks, protein bars, sauces, and meat substitutes. Because soy is cheap and carries a health halo, the food industry loves it. But your male hormones know the truth. Despite his skepticism, James was willing to give it a try. It was a simple strategy. He replaced soy with clean protein sources. Within weeks, he returned with more energy. A month later, his wife sent me a handwritten thank you note. It simply said, "Doctor, you've given me back my husband." Am I saying that soy is toxic? No. But it's a healthy food that's best avoided by men over 60, especially if you're experiencing fatigue or performance issues. Staying with this theme of healthy foods having a dark side, our next vegetable is even more surprising. It's a staple in millions of diets, but in its most processed form, it can contribute to chronic inflammation, which can harden arteries and divert blood flow away from where it's needed most. You'll be surprised at how widespread it is. It's corn, a staple ingredient in countless foods around the world. And let me be very clear here. I'm not talking about the fresh corn on the cob you might enjoy at a barbecue. I'm talking about corn as it exists in our modern diet. Corn is processed into corn syrup, cornstarch, corn oil, and a huge variety of other processed products. I'd like to introduce you to Robert, a 62-year-old who came to me with a concerning issue. Besides erectile dysfunction, he was experiencing persistent fatigue and joint pain. He was diligently trying to do the right thing for his health by replacing butter with margarine made from vegetable oil, typically corn-based. He was frustrated that his attempts to stay healthy seemed to be making things worse. Robert's problem was chronic inflammation. It's an invisible but powerful enemy. Corn, particularly when processed, is high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, our bodies need omega-6 fatty acids, but they need to be carefully balanced with omega-3 fatty acids, found in walnuts, flax seeds, and fish. The modern diet has disrupted that balance. We're consuming up to 20 times more omega-6 than we should. When this ratio is off, your body enters a constant state of low-grade inflammation. Think of it as a tiny fire burning inside you that never goes out. This inflammation damages the endothelium, the delicate lining of your arteries. And what does the endothelium produce? Nitric oxide. When it's damaged, your ability to produce nitric oxide decreases. The result? Arteries that stiffen and lose their elasticity. Blood flow significantly decreases, not just to the penis, but to all areas of the body. Inflammation is also linked to joint pain, fatigue, and even prostate enlargement. In fact, Robert's heart-healthy diet was actually fueling the inflammation that was hardening his arteries. For Robert, the solution was clear. We dramatically increased his omega-3 intake with fatty fish like salmon and a high-quality fish oil supplement, and we eliminated processed seed oils like corn and soy. Within a month, the transformation was remarkable. His joint pain subsided, a clear sign that his vascular health was improving. His morning energy returned, and he started experiencing morning erections for the first time in years. Read the labels. Recognize that you could be contributing to the inflammation that's stealing your vitality. If you see corn oil, soy oil, or corn syrup, this leads us to our third, and perhaps most controversial, culprit. A vegetable that's a staple in detox smoothies and super healthy salads might be blocking the absorption of the very mineral that's crucial for a man's testosterone production when consumed incorrectly. And now for the vegetable that surprises my patients the most. This food, a darling of the health community, has a hidden dark side, especially for men over 60. I'm talking about spinach, specifically large amounts of raw spinach. It might sound contradictory, but let me explain with the example of William, a 67-year-old recreational marathon runner who was doing everything he could to stay fit. He thought he was giving his body a boost of nutrients by starting each day with a large green smoothie packed with raw spinach. But his blood work told a different story. Despite eating foods rich in zinc, his testosterone was low, and his zinc levels were critically low. He also lamented the loss of his libido. William's problem wasn't what he was eating, but how it interacted with his body. The culprit here is a compound called oxalate. Raw spinach is one of the richest sources of oxalates. Oxalates are tiny nutrient robbers in the digestive tract. They bind to essential minerals before you can absorb them, and they carry them out of your body. One of the minerals that oxalates love to steal is zinc. And as we've discussed, zinc is like gold for a man. It's essential for testosterone production and prostate health. So, with every sip of that incredibly nutritious green smoothie, William was unknowingly depriving his body of the very mineral it needed most to maintain his manhood. Am I saying you should never eat spinach? Absolutely not. Spinach is rich in magnesium and other beneficial minerals. The key is the how, not the what. Simply cooking spinach, even lightly steaming it for a few minutes, dramatically reduces its oxalate content, allowing your body to absorb those minerals. After switching from his raw smoothie to an omelet with sautéed spinach, William's testosterone and zinc levels began to rise within weeks. Now that you know the potential enemies on your plate, let's shift gears. Let's talk about reconstruction. I want to focus on the power of restoration. For men over 60, I believe there are 3 vegetables that are absolutely essential. They're not expensive or exotic. In fact, most men overlook them precisely because they're so common. First is the beet, the undisputed champion of circulation. If poor circulation is the enemy, beets are your one-man army. Remember James and his feeling that his system lacked pressure? Beets are the simple answer. They're one of the richest natural sources of nitrates in food. When you eat beets, your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide. And as we've discussed, nitric oxide is the master molecule that relaxes and opens your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow freely throughout your body. Think of it as turning a kinked garden hose into a firefighter's cannon. Consuming beet juice can significantly lower blood pressure and improve endothelial function, or the health of your arterial linings. But here's the detail that most people miss, according to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition. How you eat beets matters. When beets are pickled or preserved, their magic diminishes. The high heat required for canning and long-term storage destroys a large percentage of those beneficial nitrates. Even worse, pickling involves a brining process that floods beets with vinegar and sodium, which can constrict your arteries and negate the very benefit you're seeking. To reap the rewards, fresh beets are essential, whether grated in a salad, lightly roasted, or steamed. Moving on, our second hero, despite its often ignored instruction manual, is broccoli, the champion of hormonal balance. The key to vitality is actually the balance between testosterone and estrogen. While many men focus solely on testosterone, here's the truth. Broccoli is one of the most powerful vegetables for men over 60, especially for supporting prostate health and detoxifying estrogen. But only if it's prepared properly. Broccoli, like cauliflower and other cruciferous vegetables, contains a compound called sulforaphane. This compound is revolutionary. It reduces systemic inflammation, supports liver detoxification, and, most importantly for older men, helps eliminate excess estrogen, promoting a healthy testosterone level. But there's a significant catch. Sulforaphane is extremely sensitive to heat. Overcooking broccoli, or worse, microwaving it, destroys the majority of this therapeutic compound. All that's left is a lifeless stalk that provides fiber. Yes, but not the defense your aging body needs. Remember Robert, the bloated, foggy patient? When I asked how, he replied, I microwave it for 5 minutes until it's really soft. Unknowingly, he was destroying the very nutrient his body was craving. He was eating a food that was supposed to support his masculinity, but the way he prepared it rendered it useless. When we made this simple change to steaming broccoli for no more than 3 or 4 minutes, or even eating it raw with a healthy dip, he began to notice subtle changes. His energy slowly started to return. His nighttime urination decreased, and his mind cleared. It's a small adjustment, but small things matter for men over 60. Repeated habits can either help or hurt. Unfortunately, many men think they're doing the right thing by eating more vegetables because they've been told to, but they don't realize that how they prepare those vegetables makes a huge difference. Overcooking broccoli, besides ruining the taste, robs your body of one of the most potent compounds known to protect the prostate. This brings us to our last, and third, forgotten hero. Gentlemen, this one is your testosterone's silent guardian. Mushrooms. That's right, mushrooms. Specifically, the humble white button mushrooms you can find in any grocery store. They're much more than just a topping for salads or pizzas. They're a veritable natural pharmacy for men's hormonal well-being. Let me bring back William, the 67-year-old runner I mentioned earlier. After adjusting his spinach intake, even though his zinc levels had improved, he still felt that his libido and competitive edge were lacking. He felt better, but not powerful. His hormonal puzzle was missing a piece. That piece was a sneaky enzyme that becomes more active as we age. William was struggling with an enzyme called aromatase. Think of aromatase as a testosterone thief. It's used by the body to convert your precious testosterone into estrogen. Aromatase activity increases in men as they age, especially if they carry a little extra belly fat. In other words, this enzyme is stealing testosterone from your body and converting it into the female hormone before you can even use it. This explains why William, despite having healthy zinc levels, wasn't feeling his best. His testosterone was being converted into estrogen too quickly. This is where mushrooms shine. Simple white button mushrooms have been shown to contain compounds that act as natural aromatase inhibitors, as demonstrated in scientific studies like those conducted by the Beckman Research Institute. They don't directly boost testosterone production. Instead, they act more like bodyguards, preventing the enzyme from converting your existing testosterone into estrogen. They protect it. This means that more of your testosterone stays in your bloodstream, available to do its job as free, active testosterone, boosting your energy, libido, mental clarity, and muscle mass. When I started having William add sautéed mushrooms with garlic and olive oil to his diet a few times a week, the last piece of the puzzle fell into place. About a month later, he called me. There was a new strength in his voice. He said, "Doctor, this is it. The drive is back. The energy isn't frantic. I haven't felt this kind of grounded, confident strength in over 10 years." With every meal, he was actively defending his hormones. So, there you have it. Fresh beets for blood flow, properly prepared broccoli for hormonal balance, and mushrooms to protect your testosterone levels. These aren't trendy dishes. Real science backs up these functional foods. They show that the solution to regaining your manhood lies on your plate, not in a pill bottle. To ensure you get the most out of each of these vegetables, let's tie everything together with a simple action plan and the bonus tip I promised. We've uncovered the vegetables you should limit or prepare with caution. Soy, due to its hormonal effects; processed corn, due to its inflammatory burden; and too much raw spinach, due to its zinc-stealing properties. And we've identified the 3 heroes you should embrace: fresh beets to flood your body with nitric oxide, properly prepared broccoli to regulate your hormones, and mushrooms to protect your testosterone. But as promised, for those of you who stuck around to the end, here's that bonus tip that will make it even better. We've talked about magnesium and zinc, but most men don't know about a third mineral that can significantly boost testosterone. Your bonus tip is boron, the forgotten mineral of male vitality. Boron. Yes, despite being a trace mineral that gets little attention, science has shown it to be quite powerful. Boron can lower a blood protein called SHBG, which binds to testosterone and renders it inactive or useless. By lowering SHBG, boron helps increase your free testosterone, the kind that actually counts for strength, energy, and libido. How do you get boron? You don't need expensive supplements. Great sources include foods like dates, raisins, and yes, our hero, avocado. Adding a few dates to your smoothie or a handful of raisins to your snack is a simple way to ensure that the testosterone your body makes is actually usable. It's the unseen force that enhances everything else. These are the basics, but I'm sure some of you are eager to learn more. If you found this video helpful, or if it resonated with someone you care about, please take a moment to like, share, and leave a comment below. Your story, your questions, or even just a simple thank you could inspire another man to start his journey toward better health. I read all of the comments, and your feedback helps shape the future of this channel. Share this video with any man over 60 who's struggling with confidence, intimacy, or vitality. It could have a greater impact than any medication ever could. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss these upcoming discussions. Together, we can redefine what it means to age gracefully. Thank you for being here, for being part of this community, and for trusting me with your health.